Hi guys and gals, Froggy here. Well, if you follow me at all on Corvette forum, you know I'm going crazy trying to figure out the offsets for a new set of rims that I'm going to be ordering, and they're custom sized, so I have to choose the offsets. I've got like 4 different suggestions from 4 different vendors and from the people who build them, and I wouldn't say it's all over the place, but within 6 millimeters plus or minus, they're all different. So I'm going to measure my original rims, which are different sizes. The black ones are an 18-19, and the CCWs that I own now are 18s both. So I'm just going to measure them, and I'm going to try to adjust for the different width that I'm going to buy. I'm going to get some 11 and 13, 18s all around, 11 and 13. And then I'm just going to try and do my best. What you got to do is you got to clear the control arms, the caliper, and the fender. And you've got to do that static and dynamic. Now, mostly, the static is pretty easy, but the dynamic, which means you lean in over a little bit on high-speed turns, that's where it gets dicey. So anyway, let me get this measuring started, and we'll go from there. So this is what I'm coming up with on my measurements. This is the stock rims, so that it's all printed on there, obviously. The CCW rims I had to calculate. It would have taken them 5 minutes to have a guy with a Dremel write it on there after they built the rims. Why they don't do that, I don't know. Ask CCW. I think they were bought by somebody anyway a couple years ago. So the front, I calculated this out. I believe the calculations are correct. I know the 18 inch is correct, and the 10.5 and the 12.5 correct. To calculate the offset, here I'll try and, yeah, that's a good focus on it. So on the front, its overall rim is 292 millimeters. You divide that by 2, and then you measure to the hub. So to the hub, it's 3.8125 inch, which is 96.8 millimeters. Subtract that from half the width of the rim, so it's a 49 millimeter offset for 10.5 inch rim versus a 40 millimeter offset on a 9.5 inch rim. All right, for the rear, we got 13.3125 inch overall rim. It's 338 millimeters. Divide by 2, 169 millimeters is the halfway. That's a 0 offset right there, if that's where the hub was. Then you measure from the floor to the hub surface. 4 inches, 102 millimeters. So 169 minus 102 millimeters is a 67 millimeter positive offset on the rear CCW. That's a 12.5 versus a 59 on the front, which is printed on there. So I think I've calculated those correctly. Now I have to go and interpolate that, or look at my 11 and 13 rim and see where that falls compared to all these different numbers that I got from vendors. Okay? Hold everything. I forgot to figure in the spacers on this, which is going to change these 2 numbers. So let me measure the spacers. These are spacers that I have to use with these specific rims to make them clear the caliper and clear the control arm. Okay, I want to kind of wrap this up, and I'm going to retitle this video as how not to measure your backspace. Anyway, here's one other mistake that I made besides forgetting about the spacers. when I put the yardstick through to get the overall measurement of the rim, the tire was holding it up off the ground by probably 2 to 4 millimeters. So that was wrong. And that was included in my overall here. So that number is too high. So anyway, I'm really gonna start all over again on this thing, but I am gonna put this video up, and sometimes it's good to see what not to do. And Froggy it doesn't always get everything perfect the first time. So I'm gonna put it up. And if you want more from Froggy, click on subscribe, and if you want notifications, click on the little bell next to subscribe. Okay, see you guys and gals. Froggy out. Bye.